Hi, my lovelies. How is everybody doing today? Today I am tired, but I wanted to get out episodes 3 and 4 of Paradise because the episode 5 comes out tonight at 11, and I actually want to do that video really quick. But let's go ahead and get to episode 3, which was very good. Episodes 3 and 4 were the best out of the whole season, and hopefully episode 5 is better, right? But let's get to it. It's not the one I want. Let's see which one is better. All right, so let's get to it. Let's get to it. Okay, so we pretty much already went through all of this, but this episode is particularly focuses on Gabriella Torabi, okay? So she is the like psychologist of all the like people, right? So she was a psychologist for Cal, which is still a hard name for me to say. I can say Kyle, but Cal is so awkward for me to say. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. But let's get to it, y'all. Let me get my notes up. But y'all, I don't trust her, and I'm gonna tell you why. So this episode it is entitled "The Architect of Social Well-Being," and it's like, what does that even mean? But this episode begins right with Xavier. He's like burning a cigarette, and it still has those numbers that were found on there. It was like 811 something, and these were the cigarettes that were found from the president's crime site, right? So you see him kind of looking. I just knocked over my charger, or whatever. But you see him looking at this like airport pin that's like on his wall, and you're like, what is that supposed to mean? But you see like flashbacks of him as a child with his dad on like an airplane. And remember his daughter was talking about how he was like obsessed with airplanes and stuff with Cal's son the last episode. So you kind of see him like going back to that, like maybe that's like his safe place. But um, then the next scene, we see Xavier. He's like jogging with Billy, and they're just trying to keep up their regular activities because they don't want to seem suspicious. Since Xavier is kind of like a sorry, my bad, y'all. I'm in my apartment, like clubhouse, and somebody was like, because I'm in like the conference room, somebody was trying to get in here, but whatever. Okay, so let me lose my spot. But they're trying to like keep up their like regular activities because Xavier is like a prime suspect right now because he didn't call in the murder for 30 minutes, which was stupid as hell. But and God, y'all, I hate that there's an echo in here, but like there's no way for me to plug in this new mic I got. So we just gonna have to figure it out. But And Billy's like, why are you like the prime suspect? But yeah, Xavier doesn't really answer him and calls him like fat or whatever. But he's like, I'm gonna go see the therapist, and the therapist is Gabriella. So he shows up and he's like, so why did you tell me to say yes that I was happy that the president is dead? And she was just like acting kind of weird because you can tell that her office is probably bugged or whatever by like Sinatra. And we know how evil Sinatra is, right? So Xavier's like, why did you tell me to say yes? And she's like, you can make an appointment. And she's like, we can go on a walk. Because, like I said, she thinks her office is bugged. So the next episode is, I said the next episode, the next scene is Robinson and Sinatra, and they're at the autopsy of Cal. And mind you, this is the first like death, I guess, of anybody since they've been in this new like town under the mountain. So, at which I'm like, no one has died because I think they've been there for at least like 3 years. So I don't know. But they're there, and Robinson's just like daydreaming about Cal. Um, and the forensic pathologist is like, implies there was a rock injury. So I'm like, because I guess there's no like pow pows, like, on in that new world. So I guess he got killed by a rock, which I'm like, that is crazy. But after the autopsy, like both the first Robinson's like thrown up in the toilet, and then you hear Sinatra thrown up in the toilet. So both of them are affected by this because, mind you, they haven't been dealing with any sort of death in a long time since they've been in this new world. Like this new world has been like sort of like a kind of like a blissful thing for them, right? Next scene is back with Xavier and Gabriella, and they're walking in like a park, and she's just like, "It's amazing how resilient humans are, and how much studying they did for this town. Like they've studied like hours of insect sounds and hours of like everything, and studied everything to make this as comfortable as it could be." And he's just like, "Stop bullshitting with me, like, girl." And he's just like, Xavier's one of the few people that weren't open with her. Like he was just like, and she was like, one of the only people that weren't open with me was Cal, and which interests him. And she's like, "Open up to me about your father in a way so I can open up to you about what I know." She's like, "I'm not about to, open up to what I know about you, and I don't know anything about you." So he's still not open. He's just like, "Me and my dad had a falling out. That's it." But which is not the truth, right? So we go back to Agent Robinson. She's like at Cal's house, the president's house, and she's like having like a daydream about like Cal kissing on her or whatever. And as he's kissing on her, like you see blood. Somebody's like right out there. I don't like that. But you see like blood, and it's just like a nightmare. But it's like a day nightmare because Sinatra wakes her up, and Sinatra's like, "Girl, you need to snap out of it because I can get somebody else on this case." And she calls her like a mistress or whatever. And I'm like, I mean, I don't disagree with Sinatra. Like, it's a horrible idea to have somebody who was sleeping with the president on his murder case for the first murder that's ever happened in this new world. Like, that's an awful idea. But and Sinatra was like, I've known him for 20 years. Um, and I guess Robinson hasn't known him for 20 years. So she's pretty much like, get it together or I will get you off this case. So Robinson's like, I need to get it together because, Sinatra's rich. Um, Okay, so back at this scene with Xavier and Gabriella. So they're like at this like grocery store, and she was just talking about how like the the population of 25,000 is the perfect um it's pretty much just perfect for the oxygen filtration system, and like studies of appropriateness of how, like how people would adapt to this town. Like it's not too big, not too small. So he's just like, "How much do you know? Why do you know so much about this?" And she opens up that she helped with the psychological side of like opening this new town. And she designed this place in that way, and that she helped a lot of grieving, dissociated people. And then this is when she deems herself the architect of social well being. So, meanwhile, on another scene, Robinson gets all the agents together, which was like Jane, Agent Pace, Billy Pace, and the guy who does like the security footage. And oh, she just wants to figure out who shut down the security system that night before the death. All right, so Xavier, on another scene, he asks Gabriella how she knows Sinatra, and Gabriella pretty much is just like, "I helped Sinatra grieve her son, and I was assigned to her when her son was sick, and there was nothing else they could do. And then because of that, Sinatra assigned me to to pick everybody, for this new city. And oh, and she pretty much asked him about his father again, right? She's like, "What about your father?" And pretty much I'm just gonna explain the situation. So the situation with him and his dad is that his dad was like a big pilot, and I don't think they didn't live in the same city, but his dad would fly and they had like a routine of always meeting up at the airport and like playing chess. And his dad one time, and you see they show like a lot of flashbacks within the year. So it was like when Xavier first started like the academy, I'm guessing like the academy to become an agent, to become an agent. And and then you see another scene when like he notices his dad has like a tremor, and then he was like, what's that? And then his dad was just like, "Oh, I have Parkinson's disease, but it's no big deal." If you know what Parkinson's disease is pretty serious. And if you're a pilot, it's like, but his dad was like, "I'm taking the medication, blah, blah, blah. And like, I work with the team, so it's not that big of a deal." So this is just on his mind for like a long time. And Xavier has like a big moral compass. So as Xavier grew in his career and became like a lead service agent, and he was able to show his dad, Air Force One, and his dad was a Tuskegee Airman, so this is like huge for him. So when he shows him that, he's like, "Dad," he like shows him paperwork. He's like, "I retired you," and he's like, because his dad was like loved his job, so he's like, "What do you mean you retired me?" And he's like, "I retired you. I just think that you've done a job well done, and I don't want you to work anymore." So his dad was pretty much angry with him, and I guess that affected their relationship. But his disease progressed, so he ended up passing away. And I don't know if he passed away like not before, like a year before this catastrophe happened. I don't know. We don't know the timeline, but because she opens up to him, I mean he opened up to Gabriella finally, she wants to open up to him. And I also missed another scene when they were at the grocery store. He had like a low-key kind of a breakdown because he kind of got on, started talking about like how we need to forget about the people that we lost in the other world because they're gone now. Like Xavier, I don't know, he's messed up. But oh, and there's another small scene with Sinatra, right? She's like calming down the new president, and he's worried because he's like, if security is messed up, then what am I gonna do? Like, are we all safe? And Sinatra is so fake, y'all. Like, I don't know. And you can tell, I don't know if she killed Cal because she's like, he was a decent and honorable man, but I don't know. Sinatra, you just don't have no idea. But she has like a really good way of calming people down in a way. So I don't know. But I go back, so they're at like so X, and I keep saying X in my notes, but Xavier and Gabrielle are at this diner, and that's when he opened up about his dad. And he also opened up about his wife, and he was just like, she was like, "What happened with your wife?" And then he said that his wife was on his way to get on the planes like the day of the incident, but he made sure he didn't make sure he got on her plane. And I'm like, who is he? Like, was she cheating, or like the president? And I have no idea, because I wonder if it has something to do with the president. But and this scene was kind of small. So Robinson finally shows Sinatra who was the one like shutting down the security cameras. And it turns out it was Jane and Billy Pace. And they were just like, we were playing Wii. And they were just like, what? And then Sinatra turns to Robinson and was just like, give me like a real answer, because girl, what are you talking about right now? But okay, so here's the last scene. So Gabriella, she exes Xavier's walking her home or whatever, and it was just, I don't know, like you could tell she was just flirting with him all day, and it's just like how long? It's just kind of creepy because it's like um she's the one who picked him as a lead agent because she opens up to him. She's just like she lost her parents young and she loves poker, and she's the one who got the opportunity to make all the decisions when she made all the selections for everyone who made it into the town. So like she loves poker but when she thinks about it, she always thinks about the people that didn't make it into the town. So I'm like, ooh, girl, that's awful. So she opens up, she says she chose Xavier to be the lead agent. So it goes back to a scene when like Xavier got the job. She's the one who got him the job as the lead agent. And then she also chose him to make it into the new town. And she said Xavier's always been her wild card. And I'm just like, I don't trust her. But anyway, they have sex or whatever. And while they are, she opens up. She's like, I have a message from the president. And if anything happens to the president, that Billy Pace is dangerous. And then they go to a scene with Billy like right outside of Xavier's house. And he's just like has a gun or whatever. And you see Presley in the window. So I'm like, oh my God, like is Billy gonna kill her? Like we really don't know. But this episode was good overall. I'm gonna rate it like an 8. Cause just we learned a lot of back information. But with Gabriella, I don't trust her. I really don't. I do not. I do not trust her. Cause it's just like she has a lot, even though she doesn't have a lot of power, it's like she still has a lot of emotional power over Sinatra because she was there for Sinatra during her like dark time. So so I don't know. But I'm gonna go ahead and do episode 4 right after this. I'm gonna go ahead and post this. But have a great day. Please like and subscribe, and I will be doing episode 5 today.